First question from Kirsten Watson. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hey, Chris. I know earlier this week you woke up with a bit of a stiff neck. Of course, you played yesterday, but just checking in, how is that feeling?
It feels a lot better. It was just one of those things. I slept on it wrong and I think I like pinched a nerve or something. But yeah, no, I worked with the trainers and yesterday I felt a lot better. So I was able to go.
Good to hear. And what did you think of your performance yesterday?
I mean, it was good, just to get back in game action. The conditions were kind of tough out there with the wind and thought we saw some good arms, we saw some velocity. So good stepping in there and facing mid to upper 90s right off the bat. So just glad to get the rust off and get some ABs and get some balls in the field.
And over these last few games, has there been anyone that's just really honestly impressed you?
Yesterday was my first game. I've seen a little bit, just from being at the field watching, and DJ Peters has had a really good start to his spring. I thought he's had some great at bats, and I'm happy for him. His swing looks really good, and Gavin Lux has obviously gotten off to a good start, and McKinstry's doing well. I mean, there's a lot of guys, and the pitchers have been really good too. I think it's been a good overall start to the spring.
Great, thank you.
Next question is from Dave Assay. Go ahead, Dave.
Hi, Chris. I was wondering if anything changes without Kiké being on the team for you. Do you feel like you're going to move around even more, or how do you feel like that impacts how they use you versatility wise?
I think maybe it could be a little more second base, because when we were both on the field, Kiké tended to be at second base, and I would usually be either shortstop or left field. So without Kiké here, I could possibly play a little more second base this year.
What's going on at third base? You were taking ground balls there. And is that a place that you may find yourself this year?
Yeah, I think so. Doc came up to me last week and asked me about it, and I said I feel comfortable playing there. Just if JT needs a day or whatever the case is, I've just been getting reps there, make sure I feel comfortable going in there in a game situation. I think I played a handful of games there in the past. I just told him, whatever's going to get me on the field. So second base, shortstop, third base, it's just another spot that allows me to get in the lineup.
Is it a lot different? I know the ball can get on you a little bit quicker there than short and second. Have you felt comfortable with that?
Yeah, it is different. It's an adjustment. I think it's more of a reactionary position. You don't have as much time to think or read the hops or anything like that. You kind of have to make a split-second decision right off the bat, whether you want to come get it or wait back on it. That's definitely an adjustment, and that's going to take some reps in VP, trying to get live fungos or whatever.
Thanks, Chris.
Next question is from Mike DiGiovanna. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, good to see you. Coming into camp, did you think you'd have a shot at maybe being an everyday second baseman?
I didn't really know what to expect until I had that conversation with Doc, and there's no telling what's going to happen. In a season, I feel like my role's always kind of been to play all over the field, and I think that's part of my value. So I understand, why they would want me to stay in that role, maybe, or, like I said, there's been times where guys have gotten hurt and then I have to play one position for a month, or, whatever the case is. I just told myself I'm going to be prepared to play all over, and at the end of the day, Doc makes the lineup card, so he'll decide where I play.
So he basically told you you'd be in a similar role?
Yeah, the way they see things right now, or the way they envision things right now, I think they see me playing all over the field.
Would you like to settle into one position one of these years, or do you kind of prefer bouncing around as you have?
I really don't have a preference. Like the most important thing to me is playing. If I'm on the field, I'm happy. So if whether I'm playing second base every day or shortstop every day or outfield or I'm playing all of those, I really just want to be on the field as much as I can be. And I know on this team, playing every single day is not realistic with all the guys we have on our team. But whatever's going to get me on the field as much as possible. That's
Last one from me. What is the biggest challenge about staying sharp defensively at so many positions?
I think I think early on it was an adjustment. I think when you're first starting to do that, it's easy to fall into the trap of you just want to be adequate. When you're playing multiple positions, especially when you're playing a spot that you haven't played a ton of, it's easy to tell yourself, okay, don't make any mistakes. Just do enough to make the routine play. And I think what I've learned is, if you try to take it to the next level and try to be great everywhere, that's a better mindset. And I've always felt like if you're making aggressive mistakes, that's better than making passive ones.
Next question is from JP Hornstra. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, I wanted to ask you about your plate discipline because by some measures last year it was your best since 2017, especially just chasing pitches out of the zone was kind of something you didn't do last year. And I'm just wondering where that came from. Was it a focus for you going into the season and what helped you to improve in that area?
I think when the ball slows down, your plate discipline gets better. I think I made some mechanical adjustments that slowed the ball down a little bit, gave me a little more time to see the ball. And when you're not late on fastballs and having to cheat to catch up to the velocity, I think you're gonna chase less off-speed pitches out of the zone. So I think it was a combination of making those mechanical changes that put me in good positions to slow the ball down a little bit and allow me to be on time.
And when you talk about those mechanical changes, were you going back to something that you had been doing like in 2017, or was this a new thing for you?
No, it was pretty new. I've looked at clips. I've looked at videos from 2017, and that's how it started. And then I kind of had modified it into something different. And I think that's the thing with a baseball swing. It's constantly changing whether you want it to or not. And, you kind of just have to roll with it and work through that stuff. It's easy to say, hey, just go back and look at 2017. I had a great year that year. But it's not that simple. And, but last year, I felt like, especially towards the back half of last season, I thought I was playing as good as I ever had in my career. And, I was really happy. Like you said, I thought my discipline was better. I thought the ball slowed down for me. And I thought the consistency was there last year. So even though my numbers might have been a tick better in 17, I thought the quality of contact might have been better last year over a shortened season too.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of when the pandemic kind of shut down sports. What do you remember about that night when the news broke about the NBA, and then the next day or two as everybody got sent home?
Yeah, it all happened really fast. It was kind of a shock for everybody, I think. We had only heard about the pandemic, like, I might be wrong, but I want to say it's like a few days or a week before that, and nobody really knew what to think of it. Like, we didn't know if it was something we really had to take seriously or what was going on. And then, that was kind of a shocking moment for us all, and the fact that it was that serious where we had to completely cancel the season. Yeah, and nobody knew really what to think. You kind of just went right back into off-season mode, and we didn't know when the season was going to start again, so it was a weird time.
And now a year later, still having to deal with it. If I told you that on March 11th last year, that it would still be going a year later, how shocked would you have been by that?
Yeah, pretty shocked. I don't think anybody saw it being like this, and getting to the point where it did and lasting up to this point, and who knows when this thing's going to be over. So, we all know it's a serious situation, and we're taking it seriously, and we're trying to be responsible, to make sure we don't bring it into our own environment.
Has the virus impacted your family at all?
Yeah, it has, but not anything serious. I'll just leave it at that. Everybody's okay.
Well, that's good to hear. Thanks.
We got time for one more. Go ahead, Eric.
Chris, just wondering if anything's different for you this year, or do you feel any extra pressure heading into potentially free agency at the end of the year?
No, I honestly haven't thought about that at all. I'm taking the same approach I've taken every year, and my motivation has never been like money based or anything like that. My motivation's always been to like play as much as I can, put up, like, have a good season, and then like help our team win. So for me, I'm just thinking about helping us win another World Series.
Thanks.